Welcome to the Red Carpet Movie Review.
Today we review Avengers: Infinity War.
Right here on the Red Carpet.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Hollywood, California, welcome to the Red Carpet Review, starring the Showstopper, Shawn Valentino, also starring Rich Twilling. This week's special guest supermodel, Erika Medina. Today we review Avengers: Infinity War. Live from the red carpet.
Hey everybody, Shawn Valentino, your host on the Red Carpet Movie. Today we're going to review Avengers: Infinity War. Now, Avengers: Infinity War is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, and it stars an ensemble cast of great actors including Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. So you have a huge star-studded cast here, as you have had in all the Avengers films. But is this a great movie? Well, it definitely had great expectations because this is a legendary story that comic book fans have been anticipating for years. And the heart of this film revolves around a supervillain by the name of Thanos, an infamous, godlike supervillain who's attempting to collect 6 Infinity Stones of amazing power in his attempt to unleash that power to destroy the universe as we know it. And of course, it's up to the Avengers, with the aid of the Guardian of the Galaxy and pretty much every Marvel superhero that's ever been created, to stop Thanos. And that results in an Infinity War. So of course you have your classic summer blockbuster formula here with tons of action, some amazing special effects, as well as iconic characters that have all gathered together after being built up in previous superhero installments. Now, I haven't been a huge fan of this Marvel Comics shared universe. The ones that I've really liked are the ones that have focused on more individual stories and individual superheroes. I really enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming, and of course I loved the first Iron Man. I really liked the first 2 Thor films, but I didn't really enjoy Captain America: Civil War. I didn't like the last Avengers movie, and I absolutely hated Thor: Ragnarok. Again, like I said, I like my superhero movies focused on one character that we can emotionally invest in. But at the same time, I really did enjoy the first Avengers movie. I thought it was a landmark comic book film that did an excellent job of showcasing all these different characters and the chemistry between them without appearing too overbloated. I also thought it featured an excellent supervillain in Loki because he had yet to devolve into self-parody in future installments of these Marvel Shared Universe films. So of course I came into this movie with pretty low expectations, and unfortunately it lived down to my expectations. I thought there were just way too many characters in this movie. When every character in a movie is a superhero or a supervillain, then what's so super about it? There's nothing special. When everything is supposed to be special, then nothing comes across as special, because the beauty of these superhero movies is you have a larger-than-life character amongst ordinary people, and that's what really makes them stand out. But when every one of these characters has superpowers, there's really nothing super about it. And I thought one of the main reasons, besides there being too many characters, that I couldn't invest in any of these characters was that they were trying way too hard to be funny. There's just way too much goofy humor in these recent installments of these Marvel movies. I thought it worked in Guardians of the Galaxy as well as Deadpool because those are supposed to be satirical representations of superheroes. But in this movie, you have the fate of the universe at stake against this monster supervillain in Thanos. And these characters all cracking one-liners like they're stand-up comedians. And I also enjoy superhero films where there's a strong emotional bond between a superhero and a human character. I'm talking about Batman and Alfred, Pepper Potts and Iron Man, Spider-Man and MJ, and of course Superman and Lois Lane. That really gives the superhero a sense of emotional vulnerability and relatability, and it makes the plot that much stronger because you have a certain gravitas to it with this superhero character trying to save a person that isn't blessed with those powers. But again, like I said earlier, here every character has superpowers, so you can't really relate to any of the characters. And also you don't really care about any of the characters either because none of them come across as larger than life because they're surrounded by so many other characters that have similar powers to them. So I really couldn't emotionally invest in anything in this movie. That's not to say I completely hated the movie. I thought some of the action sequences were really good, the special effects were obviously excellent, and I thought some of the humor was decent, but again, there was just way too much of it. And I thought the performances were all solid throughout, and I'd like to say that one performance that really stood out, and one guy that really does have a very strong sense of humor in a very subtle way, is Dave Bautista, and I'm a huge wrestling fan, and in the wrestling universe, Bautista was a wonderful actor, and you don't really say that about too many wrestlers, but he's made this shift to Hollywood because of his acting chops, and I think he does a really good job in his line delivery, and he really has a great contrast between his quiet sense of humor and his imposing presence, and I thought he was terrific here in his small role in this film. And again, this movie is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, but ironically, I think who they have in common with is Vince Russo, and any of you who are wrestling fans will know that he's really known for these bloated, over-the-top storylines that don't always fit together. And I thought this described this movie, and it really brought this movie down. And I thought this movie was just way too long. They call it Infinity War, and I felt like I was in the theater for an infinite amount of time, and my main war was to prevent my snores. So I thought this ended up being a big infinity bore. And we here at the Red Carpet Review like to rate our movies on a 5-star scale, and I'm going to give Avengers Infinity War 2 stars on the 5-star scale. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button, press subscribe, and we'll see you next week on the Red Carpet.
Thank you for watching the Red Carpet Review. Proceed to click that like button and press subscribe for weekly movie reviews past and present. We'll see you soon on the Red Carpet.